Are you ready to branch out, to take a leap of faith, to love yourself and others fully? Then let go of whatever no longer serves you to take action now on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, and letting it go. Erica will energize and excite you to power up your passionate dream that sets your soul on fire. With Erica's E3 approach, equipping, empowering, and enlightening yourself so you can be yourself for yourself. Get ready and get rooted to live a life without regrets, without what ifs, without should haves, and especially without empty feelings from a life unexplored. This hit show helps you build powerful and intentional roots to live it up, love it up, and let it go. Get fearlessly ready and powerfully rooted in your yes with your host, Erica Gifford Mills, and be fearless about your more and stand in your yes. Now on Get Rooted Radio.
Welcome, everyone. I am Erica Gifford Mills, and you are listening to Get Rooted Radio, living it up, loving it up, letting it go, right here on Talk Transformation, Talk Revolution. A shout out, as always, to my producer today, Emily. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Just came off of a event over the weekend in Ohio honoring my son, and it was a wonderful turnout. So I'm kind of on cloud nine. And I also, normally when people say this, they aren't excited, but I received a letter from the IRS today. But it was a good letter. It was confirming that Rooted in Service is officially 501c3 status. So I'm so excited about that. And today's episode is titled Rooted in Legacy, Educate, Empower, and Encourage. So listeners, what does it take to transform personal adversity into a legacy of hope, service, and generational change? Well, that's what today's episode is all about. I welcome Tyara Lee, affectionately known as Coach T, a globally recognized speaker, Christian leader, humanitarian, entrepreneur, wife, mother, and visionary founder of Legacy Approach and the Global Ambassador Queen program, which I am honored to say that I am Ms. Global Ambassador Queen, Wisconsin. Now, drawing from her experiences as a former foster youth, Coach T has turned the challenges of our past into the foundation of a powerful mission, helping others overcome adversity, discover their purpose, strengthen their leadership, and recognize the greatness already within them. Together, we will explore the inspiration behind her organizations, the challenges she has faced while building them, and the faith, determination, and sense of purpose that keep her moving forward, even in building them. Her moving forward, even on the most difficult days during building them. Coach T also shares what legacy truly means to her, how she balances leadership, business, family, and community, and what she would tell someone who feels called to make a difference but does not know where to start. So thank you so much for being on the show today, Coach T.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So during this first segment, we're going to get to know you a little bit better. So tell us about yourself. What is Legacy Approach? And what inspired you to start Legacy Approach and the Global Ambassador Queen program?
So thank you for that question. So Legacy Approach is an events and business solutions company, which not only does business, but we also do a lot of community works and involvement and a lot of giving back to the community. So as I mentioned, it's an events and business solutions company, which helps businesses grow substantially, whether it is business coaching, whether it's helping them make their events extravagant with rentals, balloons, decor, or we help people start their nonprofits, LLCs, or file paperwork that they need to be filed. As far as the Global Ambassador Queen program, it is tied to our Legacy Approach project, which is the mental health project. So through that project, we have our amazing queens who focus on mental health advocacy, mental health awareness, and spread so much love and passion in the community. The reason why I started Legacy Approach is because I saw there was a need for businesses learning more about how they can start. Businesses needed more resources as far as grants. We also do grant research. There's a lot of things that I saw there was a need for. But if I back up all the way to years ago, I founded a organization another business, a different business, and this is a rebrand. So the previous business was rooted as well. And the reason why I started everything is because of my story growing up. As you heard, I'm a former foster youth, and a lot of resources or information weren't given to me. So I want to be that person. We're a one-stop shop. So if there's anything you need, if we don't have it, we're able to provide that resource or that connection for you. So that's why I created it. I didn't really have those type of resources. And when I would go to one organization or one company, they didn't have any answers on where we should go or how we can find whatever it is that we needed or I needed to grow in different areas of my personal or business life.
I love that. And so you're trying to help those for things that you didn't have, but needed so that they don't have the same problems that you did going 100%. Forward. Yeah. So what impact were you hoping or are you hoping to make
through your work? One of the biggest impacts is being a voice for the voiceless, being a help for the helpless, and making positive impact, whether it's an act of kindness, spreading awareness about mental health, just being that person who helps someone get off their feet when they're feeling down. The general impact is just being there for people when they need it most. Another thing that we also do is our mental health circles, and that's also tied to a partnership with a nonprofit. We want to be that voice, that help, that assistance for the next person who needs it.
I love that. And it's so important, right? Because we truly do rise when we lift one another up. And when we can help one another, take some of that stress off, it helps with not only, personal development and growth, but also professional development and all those things that lead to mental health issues, the stress, the sleepless nights, the finances, all that kind of stuff. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about your journey. But before we go, tell folks how they can get a hold of you and learn more about your organizations and what you all do.
Yeah, so one of the best ways is to follow us on Instagram, which is Global Ambassador Queens with an S, or they can look at the website www.globalambassadorqueens.com. And if they want to reach out, they can reach out to us at 888-724-4625.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You are listening to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. If you missed any portion of today's episode, you can catch it on getrootedradio.com. Don't forget to subscribe online to receive the latest news, events, specials, and words of encouragement. Go to getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Tyara Lee, affectionately known as Coach T. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes. So during our first segment, we got to know you a little bit better. And during this segment, we're going to talk about your journey. And you mentioned a little bit of it during the last segment, what challenges have you been faced with while building your organization?
I feel like one of the major challenges was exposure, but we were able to champion that by using the previous resource that I obtained from other organizations and different collaborations that I've made. And now we're okay. Another one of the challenges that I see, not only our organization, but so many other organizations, was sponsors. Making sure that we have sponsors who are committed, who are faithful, who are going to follow through. But now I know that we are working towards championing that and overcoming that particular obstacle with different policies and practices in place, such as contracts, not just verbal agreements.
Yes, definitely. So what keeps you motivated? Like on the good days, right? And when we're chugging right along, having things go our way and it's all sunshine and rainbows. It's easy to keep motivated and keep going. But what keeps you motivated on those hard days, on when life gets in the way? I mean, I know you have a lot going on right now, but like what on your lowest days, what keeps you motivated to keep going?
I would say that one of the biggest things that keeps me motivated is remembering my why. Why did I even start? What is it that keeps me going? I have to remind myself of that question. So even for you guys, if you're not sure if you want to keep going, just remember why you started. And if that why isn't strong enough to get you going or to get you out of the bed in the morning, you need to find another why because it has to be strong. And one of my major whys is building a true legacy for my children to pass down generations.
I love that. And has there been moments that reminded you of your why?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, even now, losing loved ones, it's just so saddening. And you just want to stop your whatever you're doing. You want to stop your work, your business, but they wouldn't want that for you, right? So you have to pick yourself up, take your time to grieve, of course. Take whatever time you need to grieve, but don't quit or give up because you're feeling the emotions. I'm not saying the emotions are going to disappear right away. They may never disappear, but you have to figure out how you're able to manage and balance the emotions with your business or your life in general. And another thing that I want to share is there's times where it's hard, let's say, I want to say years ago, just a little bit about my story. I'll be quick. I was a college student many, many years ago, and I had 4 jobs, but I was still struggling to make ends meet. And I just wanted to quit college. I just wanted to give up. But I had to remember why I started. Like, I just wanted to throw in the towel because I didn't have enough money to pay for books. I didn't have enough money to pay for the school tuition. I didn't have anything. And I remembered I started a MLM, and I just was like, wait, why did I even start this MLM? So I was like, okay, I started so I can finish school. I started so I can generate revenue. I went in the car, I grabbed the jewelry. It was a jewelry company. And I started walking around and selling it on campus. And before you know it, I had money for lunch. I had money for gas. I had money for my books alongside other resources that were there to help me. Some of those resources weren't enough. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Just keep going. Find a way. If you believe in God, pray. Do whatever it is you have to do that's legal, that's moral, to make sure that you're able to get what it is that you need. And it's okay to ask for help.
And know that I like to say this to people is that especially in today's society where there's social media, you see all this stuff online. Most of the time that's everyone's A side. I always say
Yeah.
that's if,
Yeah.
if you remember albums, right, and vinyl, they're coming back, but that's everybody's A side. It's
Yeah.
you don't always see everybody's trials and tribulations. So don't comparison is the thief of joy. Don't do that. But also you don't know how long ago that person may have started.
Yeah.
And so you can't compare somebody's 10th year to your 10th month.
Yes.
You need to make sure that you're being realistic. I don't mean that by setting the bar low, but don't set the bar so high that you can never achieve things. You want to have ambitious goals because if it doesn't make you a little nervous, get that butterfly inside, is it big enough for you to go after? But you also need to make sure that you're setting those realistic goals and expectations, that you're not letting yourself down because you think you're going to do something in 10 months that typically is going to take 10 years, right? But what would you say to those folks that as their journey, you said, remember your why. But what if people don't know what their why is, but they know they want to do something, but they don't know why? Is that something that they need to start thinking about?
I would say yes. I feel like everyone is placed on this earth because they have purpose. You have to find what your purpose is. One way that I share with my coaching clients of finding your purpose is figuring out what people say they appreciate about you. What do people say you're most good at? What is something that you feel makes you happy and makes you feel joyful in the inside? Write those things down. And maybe if people keep saying it over and over again, maybe it's your purpose to serve. Maybe it's your purpose to create that thing that they're saying you're so wonderful at. What is your purpose? And then I want to share also legacy. We all have a legacy that we should be wanting to leave behind. But what is legacy? Legacy is not something that, well, for me, I want to say, for me personally, legacy is it's very, very deep, and it's something that you are are leaving behind, and it's something that you contributed to the world. What have you done for the world? What have you done for the people?
Yeah, and I love that because that is one thing
The
I tell.
impact. The
Yeah,
impact.
I tell people when you're looking at what brings you joy, what brings you fulfillment. When's the last time you felt that? I always remember something my father had said to me right before he passed. He didn't know he was going to pass, but he said it to me right before he passed. He asked me, "Do you love what you do?" And my response was, "I'm good at it." And he said, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, "Do
Wow.
you love what you do?"
Wow.
And I said, "Well, no, I mean, I don't hate it, but no, I guess I don't love it. I'm good at it." And he
Mhm.
says, "You need to find something that you absolutely love because then it won't feel, don't get me wrong, it's going to feel like work some days
Yeah.
because I absolutely love what I do. And there are times, and he was an arborist, he worked outside. He goes, there are times when it's 15 below zero. Yeah, I want to go outside, but I love what I do. And so I know those things are temporary. I know those hard things are temporary. And I know if I keep it up, I'll be able to get through that." So that is one thing I always try to remember. What do I love? What brings that joy, that fulfillment? And, find your passion on purpose. It's more than just what you love to do. It's, as you said, legacy. And we're going to talk a little bit more about legacy during the next segment. So let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about leadership and purpose and legacy. But before we go, T, tell folks how they can connect with you.
Yes, if you guys like to connect with me, you can go to the Instagram at Global Ambassador Queens with an S, or you can reach out to us on Gmail at globalambassadorqueens@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. I am Erica Gifford Mills, your Ms. Global Queen Ambassador, Wisconsin, and you are listening to Get Rooted Radio, living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back. We're back on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Don't forget to visit getrootedradio.com to listen to a replay of this episode, sign up for helpful tips, and learn about upcoming events. That's getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Tyara Lee, also known as Coach T. During the last few segments, we got to know a little bit about you and your journey. And during this segment, we're going to discuss leadership, legacy, and purpose. So now, you mentioned legacy during the last segment, and you
Yeah.
kind of told us a little bit what legacy means to you. So if you missed that, tell folks, what does legacy mean to you?
So to me, legacy, it means the impact that you make, not necessarily the tangible things you can leave behind, but the true impact that you create while you are here on this earth.
Yes. So like legacy, kind of what continues because you were here, right? It's not only what people remember about you after you're gone, it's like your values you live, the lives you've touched, the courage maybe you've awakened, and the change you created while you were here on this earth. I told people once that legacy can be a lesson someone carried forward, a cause that keeps helping people, a family changed by your love or generosity, a voice that makes others feel seen. What I feel like my legacy is really not simply just preserving Connor's memory, which is I will do until the day I die. It's allowing his life and love to keep moving through, rooted in service, right?
Wow.
Through those honest conversations about mental health, through every person who chooses to seek help, checking in on somebody and becoming louder than the silence. And then also through my International Women Speakers Summit, making sure that women are no longer waiting for permission to be seen, heard, and valued and make a difference. And I always like to say legacy is love that outlives a moment, and purpose that continues beyond just one person.
Wow. Yes, I love that. And I believe that legacy also ties to leadership, because leadership is about helping people reach a specific goal or a specific dream.
Yes. And it's like you read my mind, because I was going to say, how does leadership tie into legacy and purpose? Because there are times where people are like, well, I don't know what my purpose is, and I don't know what legacy I want. But, that leadership portion of it, what advice would you give someone who wants to make a difference but doesn't know where to start?
I mentioned this before. One of the best ways to start is to figure out what people say you're good at. What do they say you're good at? But not only that, you also tie it into what you feel you're good at and what really brings you the most joy.
Yes. And and again, there's work involved, right? We're not
Yeah.
just talking about
No,
what brings me the most joy is, doing yoga and going for hikes and being next to the water and in the sun.
right.
If I could do that all day, every day, awesome. I'd probably get a little bored after a while, but
Yeah.
you also have to take into consideration how does I always it's hiking, and I'm going to get this wrong because I always do, but it's leave it better than you found it.
Mm,
Or,
love
when you
that.
borrow somebody's
I
car,
love that.
right?
Yeah.
You better fill it up with gas. I don't care if it only had a quarter of a tank. You use somebody's car, fill it up with gas because
Yeah.
you let them use their car. But it's when you're going into nature, it's you want to leave it as you found it. And I feel like that from a legacy perspective in today's world, we should, just because we won't be here, our next generation is going to be here.
Yeah.
And are we going to leave them with something that's better than what we had? And I think that's all we want. As a parent, as a leader, I want people to have something better than I did. I want them to not have to look for the resources that maybe I had to look for. Let's make sure that we can teach them how to fish, but also give them what they need to be properly successful.
Love
So
that.
in your life, right, personal and professional, how do you balance leadership, business, serving your community, and family?
I will say this. No one and nobody's life is always going to be perfect every second, every hour, every moment of the day. But as you mentioned, you're saying, how do I find the balance? The important thing is finding the balance. I will say that I did struggle a whole lot with doing this. And the way that I was able to find structure and balance is by creating a set planner, writing everything down, not only writing down my schedule and what I'm doing for each day of the week, but also writing down my goals, setting down how I'm going to achieve those goals with an action plan next to that. And not only an action plan next to that, but writing down what I feel may stop me or block me from reaching those goals and from accomplishing those dreams that I've written down. So again, for me, finding my balance is a planner with exact dates and times of what I'm doing each day. But I know sometimes it works for people physically on a physical planner, a digital planner, but you also have to find what works for you. Maybe you create a planner and it just doesn't work for you because it's just hard for you to focus in the day. Maybe you can find an accountability partner or an administrator or a VA to help you stay structured, stay focused if you have that within your capacity. Or if it does not work for you, there's other things that you could do.
Well, and I think even though I know some people hate AI and some people love AI,
Yeah.
do I love what it's doing to the environment? No. However, there are some great things for busy people like us.
Yeah.
There are times I'm learning how to use it to say, look at my emails, look at my calendar, what has to get done today. And it's been very helpful. It's almost like my own little virtual assistant.
Yeah.
And when you learn how to use it, it can be very handy. But I'm also, I mean, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist sometimes. But I'm also very much an old school paper person.
Mhm.
I love crossing things out physically.
Wow.
For me, just doing a check mark on a digital thing doesn't have that same effect.
Yeah.
So there are times where these are the things I want to get done, right? The want to list and the need to list. And I make sure, like, what is my need to? Start with a need to. And if you're having problems getting into those need to, then take some of those low hanging fruit so that you can make yourself feel a little, I've got something down. Like I'll admit there are things that you do every day. You're making your bed, you're doing the dishes, you're feeding the dogs, you're whatever that might be. There are times where I feel like if I'm stuck on a project and I'm not getting, I will write down everything that I did do today because it helps me. Like, I know my productivity doesn't equal my value.
I love that you said that, finding your
Yes.
personal priorities.
Yes,
That's
but
huge.
but there are times
That's
where I'm like,
huge.
I know my productivity doesn't equal my worth. But there are
Yeah.
times where I'm like, what have I even done today? I've been stuck on this project for how long? But then I go back and I look
Yes.
and I'm like, oh, but I still did do a lot. Okay. And it gives me a little bit more motivation to keep going. And I think that's where we need to make sure what works for us.
I love that.
And
Love that.
yeah, and I want to make sure people know your worth is not defined by your productivity.
And that's where
Truly is not.
boundaries come in. And that's where boundaries come in when it comes
Yep.
to finding the balance as well. Like shutting that phone off at a certain time, setting alarms, like, hey, I'm only going to talk for 30 minutes. I'm going to talk for an hour. So I love that you said that because it made me remember those boundaries.
Yes, in boundary management. And I also like to think of it as what works for you may not work for somebody else, but it's that willingness to try different things.
Yes.
Just because one thing doesn't work doesn't mean another thing won't. And you have to look at alignment. So it's not just about balance. Like I love the term balance. I mean, my business is balanced symmetry, so of course I love the word balance. But it's what is it alignment? Because
Yes.
not everything will always be in balance. It's not just a teeter totter, right? It's
Yeah.
not. You usually got 8 to 10 spokes going on at the same time. But are you aligned with your values, your beliefs, and what you're doing? And how does that leadership, that legacy, that purpose all tie in? Are you doing something that does not bring value to your life,
Wow.
professionally,
Mm-hmm.
personally? And we need to take a look at that. And I think sometimes we forget about that.
100%. I agree. I love that.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break because I want to spend a little extra time on our last segment on looking ahead at what is next and talk a little bit more about the Global Ambassador Queen program. So before we go, tell folks how they can reach you and learn more about all that you do.
Yes. So if you have a moment, you can go to www.globalambassadorqueens.com. You can reach out to us on Gmail at globalambassadorqueens@gmail, or you can reach out to us 888-724-4625.
Wonderful. This is Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. If you missed any of the information during the last segments, go to getrootedradio.com to listen to the replay. Don't forget to subscribe, sign up for tips and special events, and pricing for upcoming coaching and speaking sessions at getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Tyara Lee, also known as Coach T. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So during the last segments, we got to know more about you, your journey. We talked about leadership, legacy, and purpose. And during this last segment, we're going to discuss looking ahead and at what is next. And one of the things I really want folks to hear about is something that I have the privilege of being a part of. It's not just Legacy Approach, it is the Global Ambassador Queen program. So can you really tell folks a little bit more about what is the Global Ambassador Queen program? Because I'll be honest, I've never want, and this is no offense to anybody who's in pageants or anything like that. I am not knocking those at all. I think people who do those are incredible. It is exhilarating. It is terrifying, but it's awesome. But I never had the desire to be a part of something like that. It wasn't until I learned more about the Global Ambassador Queen program and how it opens doors to different audiences. And I will do anything to get the message out about mental health and suicide prevention for active military in our veteran community. And that was something that Global Ambassador Queen program allowed me to do and continues to allow me to do and helps so much. So can you tell our listeners really what is it and how can people get involved and support your mission?
Yes. So the Global Ambassador Queen program is an amazing opportunity for women to cultivate their leadership skills, and to share their leadership skills with others. We have state, local, city, and national, regional titles, and we have the Global Ambassador Queen title for women from all across the globe. So it doesn't matter where you're from, any country, region, city, state, county, we are here to connect together, to grow, to shine, to elevate you as an individual, and to elevate your community and other communities around the globe. So the main project is the mental health project. So anyone can come in with any platform and tie their platform to mental health. For example, if you came in with a platform of, let's say, homelessness, you would tie that to mental health. And we are here to support you. We are here to give you resources, connections. One of the best benefits that I love about the Global Ambassador Queen program is that we help you start your nonprofit or your LLC. We give you grant research, grant information. We give you resources. So we're a little bit different from pageants, where we actually pour and sow into you guys as ambassador queens. Not saying that they don't, but we give so much. We help you guys make the different connections that you need to grow your platform or grow as an individual woman. So it's an exciting thing. And we start at age 15 with parents' consent, and we go all the way up to 99.
I love it. And it truly is something it gets outside of your comfort zone, right? Yeah. If you're not used to that. And one of the reasons I did it is because I tell my own clients that visibility is their responsibility. Well, this has opened additional doors, and I'm trying to literally walk the walk, right? We had talent, we had evening gown, and what I love is that, Global Ambassador Queens helped me get my nonprofits. You heard this at the beginning of the episode that I said, I just officially from the IRS received my 501c3 status in the mail today. So it's awesome. And that was because of the help from the program. And now the next thing is, now that I got that, I'm diving into the grants and getting that information started. So ladies, it's not just a pageant, right? And I won't say it's not a pageant, but it's also, don't get me wrong, it is fun to dress up, look beautiful. And, the other queens are so wonderful. The support and love that we share amongst one another and helping one another, right? Sharing each other's mission and showing up and supporting. So you want to make sure that you're opening all avenues, because when you do that, you reach more people. And that's what I found, is that it all started because I met somebody at an event that I would have never normally gone to, that introduced me to this person, that introduced me to you, right? So we had this ripple effect. And now I've reached even more people than I would have before. And that's what we have to make sure that we're taking into consideration. The world is big.
Yes.
And not everybody may have the same interests, but they know somebody. And so that's where we need to make sure that we can get involved and we can support. And one way to support is to spread the word. So how can listeners learn more and get involved, or,
so
take their next step forward?
Yes, for sure. I will tell you this. If you are a woman who is looking to just grow personally, even if you don't have a business or a nonprofit or a company, you are able to join this and grow as an individual person. And there are not major requirements, literally. Like, one of the major requirements that may be major to us, but may not be major to you, is you only need to attend one event per month. But of course, we want you to do more. We encourage you to do more. But that requirement is one event per month, whether you do it online, in person, you create the event, just one event with your crown and sash, or either or. And how you can sign up is you can use Erica's code, which is Erica27. And that will let us know that you were referred by her show. And right now there's a promotion that's going on, and it ends towards the end of this month. So this program is at a small cost. And so we really encourage you to get in while it's good, while you can. And you have a whole year to work on you as an individual, work on your platform. And if you're on the fence about joining pageants, This will help build your portfolio for the next pageant. So I encourage you, if you're looking to build your personality, looking to get better at interview, better at leadership, or just enhance those skills, this is a great place to do that.
Absolutely is, because you learn so much, right? It's about leadership. It's about communication. It's about how do I get out in front of people and ask for what I need and ask for what to promote my mission, right? And that's so important, because you learn a lot from the other people in the organization, and you don't have to start from nothing.
Right.
They help you. And I love that about that.
Yes. And so if you guys are on the fence, you just want more information, you can go to www.globalambassadorqueens.com, or you can reach out to us on Instagram at Global Ambassador Queens. We would love to answer any questions you may have.
And if you don't remember that, just message us here at the show. I will get you in contact with the appropriate people. And you can use my code for a discount. That's Erica27.
Yes.
All right. ERICA 27. Thank you again, Coach T, for being on the show today and for all you do. I appreciate your time, and thank you.
You're more than welcome. And again, thank you so much for having me.
And I want to thank you all for tuning in to Get Rooted Radio. If you missed any part of today's episode or want to listen again, go to getrootedradio.com for the podcast. And don't forget to tune in the first and third Mondays of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on Transformation Talk Revolution. As we close out today's episode, and as Ms. Global Ambassador Queen Wisconsin, I want to give a shout out to our active military and veterans. Again, my platform is mental health awareness, education, and suicide prevention for our military men and women. And I want to remind all listeners that you are worthy. If you are hurting or need help, please know the world needs you, and it's a better place with you in it. Don't let the hard days win. Reach out for assistance. It is okay to not be okay. Call or text or chat the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME, HOME, to 741-741 to reach a trained crisis counselor through Crisis Text Line. Both are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, are free and confidential. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to the next time on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, and letting it go. Visit getrootedradio.com if you've missed any part of this hit show, and tune in on transformationtalkradio.com to live fearlessly in your more and powerfully rooted in your unlimited yes. For more information and to work with Erica directly, visit getrootedradio.com. That's getrootedradio.com, and get ready to live it up, love it up, and let it go.